Thanks for tuning into this video. I'm actually going to show you my second RidgeWay's build. This one is using the good old Hunter's Fury, my preferred gear set. So you've probably seen this build many times before, nothing new about that, but I just thought I would share it maybe for the newer players. Like I said, all my videos are mostly catered for the newer players that don't know what's going on, or need to, they're looking for builds that they can use, or just to spark some ideas about how things actually work. So on this one, I'm using the Gunner specialization. For this one is I like using Gunner when I'm using Hunter's Fury, because you get 10% extra armor on kill. You get from the specialization tree. That's besides the ammo that's regenerating and your rate of fire increasing as you kill NPCs. So this one is a Scorpio as its basis. I like running the Scorpio with Hunter's Fury in any case, and you can choose any SMG that you want. So I'll start with the SMG. I'm using the Grudge here, so it gives you perfect vindictive. So killing an enemy that's a status effect applied to them will grant you critical chance and critical damage for 20 seconds to you and your party. So as long as you use this build, the NPCs will always around you. They will always all of them will have a status effect on them, whether it's a Scorpio, the debuffs, or whether it's the Hunters, the Apex Predator, the 4-piece benefit of the Hunter's Fury. You can see here it's perfectly wicked. There's the RidgeWay's exotic chest. The decoy, you can actually, just to talk about the skills, the decoy, I'm just using a decoy here. You can use anything you want. You can use a striker drone, doesn't really matter, because this build will give you a lot of armor back, so you don't actually need a heal there. The shield just to give me a little bit, to help me a little bit to get closer to the NPCs, to get within that range that I actually need to be in to proc the talent. So once again, the RidgeWay's I'm going to just start there with the Bleeding Edge talent. So as long as you are within 15 meters of the NPC, you will get a repair based on how many enemies around you are bleeding in that range as well. So so if you can apply bleed to 5 NPCs within the range of 15 meters, so basically 14.9 meters, they will bleed. They'll give you armor back. That's besides you getting your armor, that you'll get your armor back from the set itself. From the Hunter's Fury. The Hunter's Fury's benefits there on the 2-piece is shotgun damage and SMG damage. That explains my choices of weapons. The 3-piece is that lovely armor and kill, and 100% health on kill. And there's your Apex Predator, which gives you on your NPCs within 15 meters, they get a debuff. So this is almost like a cheat mode for the RidgeWay's Pride. So as long as you see the NPC has the Apex Predator icon on the heads, then you know that they are within the range. They are going to bleed when you hit them with either of your weapons. They are going to bleed. The talent is going to proc definitely. So the Apex Predator debuffs the NPCs. You do more damage to them. You kill them. You disorientate the enemies around them. They also get a debuff applied to them. So that's why I like Apex. I like the Apex Predator talent on the Hunter's Fury. You don't have to use a Scorpio. It just works for me really well, because the disorient, you get that on the Scorpio as well. So it works really well. You can use the Lady Death on a build like this if you want to. I just choose the Scorpio. So on the Hunter's Fury, what you actually want is to roll max armor on them, like I have here. Max armor. You go for crit damage and crit chance. Go for crit damage, crit chance on your armor piece as well. Crit damage, crit chance. There I have my Golan gear named Backpack Anarchist Cookbook. That comes as perfectly wicked. So applying the status effect gives you total weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. So you are applying it already actually. So you can kill the enemy either by the bleed from the RidgeWay's Pride, or you can kill them with Apex Predator active, and you will get you'll always get your perfectly wicked will be active the whole time. So that's why I could actually roll the 170 armor instead of a skill tier, or instead of a weapon damage, because it kind of makes up for not having that core, the weapon core, the weapon damage, if you know what I mean, on there as well. I already told you about the weapons, the Grudge. Right here I'm using the Officer's M9A1. I could actually be using the Survivalist D50 in here, but the Survivalist D50, as you know, it comes with the Survivalist, so that's why I can't use it. So a gun with Sadist would actually be better here than Optimus, because you're causing bleed with this. And like I say, there's a perfectly wicked, it's always active. You could actually use creeping death on here as well. Creeping death, as long as you hit an enemy, then the bleed will spread, so it will be easier to get your repair back with if you run the perfectly wicked. I mean with the creeping death, but the perfectly wicked gives you straight up weapon damage. The creeping death, it takes some of your damage away, basically. So that's basically it, and I'm using the Crusader shield to help me to get close enough to the NPCs to proc these lovely Apex Predator talent. So you already saw in the gameplay how it all works. I'll put gameplay up. So you play this like you would play Intimidate build. You basically play it in the same way. I'll put this 10 meters so the talent will proc. Just showing you the guns. I don't think the numbers are that important. The gun doesn't have the best ability. The garage ability is not the best. Let me just put this on named. Just so you can see. This, there it's procking. So as long as you see that, you know they're gonna bleed. If you don't see that icon, you know you have to move in a little bit closer. I'm not taking the shield out because there's no benefit to me showing the shield right now. It's not a striker shield. That's the other way. You could actually use it with the firewall as well for the striker shield. That's 10% or 12% extra damage you get. So the damage is not that bad for 1.7 million armor build, but let me just give you some insight on what the repair is like. If you can't see it from the gameplay, if it's not that obvious, just put this on hard. See there, my health is busy regenerating. I'm just gonna let them bleed. You see, not all of them will bleed because it's out of range. That's why it's so difficult to show this build over here. So I'm not gonna kill anyone, so I'm not getting my armor and kill back. I'm just letting them bleed. You can see your armor coming back. If you kill them, you'll see it will come back in chunks. And the stat shield, sometimes I forget to show this. There I have 40.1% crit chance. Okay, let me just move over here. See, sometimes there you have my 40.1% crit chance and the 120 crit damage. On a build like this, I go for 40%. That's my, or 45. I try for 45%. You can play a bit with the crit chance and crit damage on your pieces. You get more crit chance, less crit damage. You know, it's up to you. And the armor on kill there is 498,000. That's what you have. And with the garage it's the same, but on the garage is 51.1% crit chance and 121 crit damage. So you don't have to use these weapons. You can even use a backfire if you want, but then you have to put in some hazard protection here somewhere, or some armor, serious armor regen to account for the bleed damage you're gonna get. So that's basically it for this build, and I will catch you all in the next one.